Good morning. It is August 21st, 8/20, 2026. The moon is in Sagittarius. And this rune was jumping out from my pile that I have over here on the side. So we're starting with it, Wonjo. And I'm feeling tired this morning, actually. But the energy is quite abundant, feeling expansive. And the tiredness is sort of a part of that, but it is the tiredness of it's the satisfying type of tiredness that comes from the feeling of having put a lot into something out of choice, or just because it was the natural thing to do. When a tree produces fruit, it is pushing a lot of energy into that action. But it's doing it because that's part of the process of the tree being a tree and continuing its life cycle. It's the continuation of manifesting itself as what it is. So it's the feeling of having put a lot of energy into something and seeing it actually being rewarded, seeing it the fruits of your labor, basically. Yeah. Yeah. Having it actually go somewhere and return to you. Return to life, return to us, return to the all. And I have a feeling that this is going to be a shorter one today. Penguins. Penguins are associated with community for me. They live in large colonies. But they also live in committed pairs, committed pairings within that colony. The horse and movement and vehicle, vessel, however you want to say that energy, the last few days has been constant, consistent. And this is about a new way of driving, a new way of driving. Steering your own individual life in a way that is partnered with that life itself, with the auric sphere of reality that you exist inside of and move around inside of all the time, that interacts with everything that it touches and affects it. And yeah, there is a certain level of a certain degree of mastery of movement that has been learned and is being fine-tuned as far as the allowance of being carried. The allowance of being carried. And that is actually not a passive position to be in. It may appear that way. It is a receptive position, but it is not passive. Queen of Cups, she was out yesterday. That is emphasizing the emotional vessel. So the element of water okay, bringing the focus to the astral realm, the astral dimension, which is a huge part of the actual lived human experience. Most people just aren't aware of it for what it is. There are many, many people who exist in the world who are pretty, they are very powerful creators. They are creating powerful dreams around themselves and working with the astral realm all the time without realizing that's what they're doing. They're doing it intuitively, acting intuitively, which also creates, there's a certain level of chaos that comes from that is sort of naturally, collectively being, as the general awareness increases, that is sort of the astral realm is going through a huge cleaning. And that's a really massive process that's probably going to be ongoing for a long time. The purification of the water, the collective water that we live in. But zooming it in a little bit, to the individual that I'm speaking to. This is about understanding the personal sphere of the astral realm that you are contained within, and the element of water as a power source. The element of water as your chariot. Intuitive, fluid, flowing, but also emotional intelligence, ability to sense and discern the emotional space between people, between things. And to navigate that with authority, but also with tact. Tact and sensitivity. And that's not an easy balance to find. And it is something that is often overlooked. It's not necessarily, it is a really highly valuable, hard-won skill that isn't always seen for what it is. Yeah, I'm seeing this as confirmation that this is working with the dream. It's a level of lucidity. These wings look like owl wings. We have the moon. And this orb here always has a pattern on it that is reminding me of the pattern of the labyrinth, which is basically the personal matrix that every human being lives within, their own maze, internal maze that they are living a life in order to walk out of. And this is somebody who is not, they're not trapped within the maze. They're not lost within it. They're seated outside, observing it for what it is, understanding that there is part of them that's in there, but that is part. It isn't the full thing, and they're able to have that zoomed out perspective that allows for this much, much greater sense of calm, and security. This person is very relaxed, which doesn't mean that they aren't alert. You know, when you watch an animal, a wild animal, relaxing, the animal is still very aware of its surroundings. It's connected. It's connected through the felt experience, through the astral realm, to the world around it. So it's responsive, but it's relaxed. And especially coming out of the reading from yesterday, because they all connect into each other. It feels like first we had the horse in the reading 2 days ago. That was this sort of very raw fire energy, a lot of momentum, movement, passion, but it was quite agitated from being contained for so long. And it was ready to go, but there was a sort of feverish element to it. And then yesterday it was moving, but there was still this kind of agitated, crunchy, wobbly feeling to it. And then there was this calm water guiding presence that was sort of surrounding it and helping it to steady itself and to direct its momentum. And now this feels like it has now kind of settled into that place, into that feeling, into that container of flow. And feels like a little bit of a pause today almost. And not in the sense there's movement happening, but there's a breath. There's a breath. And this is just sort of a moment of letting some things sink in, letting the fact that you are out of the gates sink in, that whatever is happening and it's real, and it's just savoring, but still with this focused vision, focused action. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay. We're going to close it there.